Morning. That's us live now, so we'll just wait for a few people to jump on and then we'll crack on today's stream. Not done the stream for about another week. Work seems to be getting in way out time. So we'll just we'll go through everything that we usually go through. We'll go through Bitcoin price analysis, we'll look at Ethereum, and then we'll just have a look at some altcoins. And if you've got any questions, fire them in chat. And we'll see what's going on across the crypto markets, which has been quite good. I just mentioned on the video picture there that we have done a quite a substantial rise on Bitcoin from them lows at around 29k. We've done a 55% move so far, so it's a decent rally. And if you're still bearish, I think you need to sort yourself out a bit. Currently using this area here as support, but we'll talk about that in a second when a few people jump on. Morning Gigapixel, how's everybody doing anyway? Let me know where you're from in chat. Get a few people on and we'll crack on. Morning Kareem. I'm sick of them fake Instagram accounts. That's honestly, I come out to about 10 now, mate. Pain in the arse. It's a bit weird as well when you see all your own pictures on there. Fucking scammers. Right, anyway, so Bitcoin currently, if you look at this green box around here, that's an area I've got marked up as support. If you look on the weekly time frame and look our way through, so we use this area support here. I mean, I've not got it quite on there. And then we use that area support there. It's around 43,000, about 4,200-ish. And then we've used it as support here, rejection, and then support. So if you go back onto the daily, you can see that it's acted as support now. We're pretty much sat within that range of support now. It's looking like a good candle. That, I mean, that's a great, that shows, if you look at it on a 4 hour, shows that there's demand already. That wick down there has just been bought up straight away, and we are pumping at a minute. We're actually just turning green, back above $44,000. Who knows, could be coming back up to test these higher and then start pushing on. Hopefully this week we can see a push up towards 46, 47, and that will be a nice bullish way to go. We've not even done much of a retracement here. If you look at that previous move here, this is a first major impulse move up, and we're looking for retracements, and we got that 38% retracement to a T. If you're looking from the move there to the top, and then look at how we tapped that to an absolute T. Then if you're looking at this latest move here, I'm not too sure what we've done here. Not even done it. Probably about a 26% retracement there. So it has picked up liquidity. We're using this area support now, and let's see if we can push on. I think if you're looking for targets, you've got to look around here. And we've also got the bottom of these wicks around here, which looks like a confluent area actually. We'll mark it up. If you look at all this support around here, support here, rejection here, so that's probably the first major level to break through next at 46,000. If we do break above that and flip that to support, then we can look at 51,000, but it's looking good so far. We've had a really nice bounce from that bottom, like I say, 55% from the bottom of move to the top of move. We're definitely out of that range bound area. For the last 2 or 3 months, I've had my range bound area on here. And I've just removed it now because we have actually broke out of that range bound area, which was down here at about 41,500, and we're well above that now, up at 44k. So that to me, that we have confirmed a breakout. We actually broke out of that range here. We retested the range and we pushed on, so that was a bullish retest of that accumulation period. And to be honest, I can't see it's coming back down to those regions again. So let's just monitor that price and see what goes on. Dave, morning from Manchester. I'm only up road from you, mate. Not too far away. I was expecting a retracement to 42k. I mean, 42k. We did get that 42,700, didn't we? I mean, you're looking at 42k on my nose. That's around there. Not a million miles off it, were we? You still could expect another retest of this high here at 42,500, which we got. And you could also expect a retestment here, but I can't see it going back in there, to be honest. We have pushed out now, and for me, things are looking alright. Massive G candle, it's looking good. I mean, if you look down onto the other time frames, it's a nice candle that forming. Need to break out of this structure here. We'll just mark that area up. That's where we need to get out of. Once we do break above that, turn that to support here, and then we should be able to push on. But yeah, things are looking good for once. The last few months have been boring. I think a lot of people have pretty much been wrecked, haven't they? I think a lot of new investors come in over the course of the last 6 to 10 months. And a lot of people have been wrecked and left already. Multi-run bull cycle what we're in, so. You think the downtrend line from previous to highs earlier this year is acting as resistance? What time frame are you looking on? You're in something like that. You could say that was the high. We retested it there. Come back down and retest it. What we've actually done so far is you've broken to the upside. We'll come back down, retested that trend, and now we're pushing on. Hopefully that's what we're doing there. Looks like a retest of a trend, doesn't it, to be honest? If that's what you're on about. Yeah, exactly, yeah. So we have broken out of that now. I mean, they can be quite temperamental trend lines, because you could think, oh right, I'll move trend line there. But I think that's more of a trend there, isn't it? You could see we come up, we rejected, we then broke through it, and we've retested that area again. So let's see if we push on from here. If that has actually flipped out to support now, then happy days. And I said this area here, this weekly level of support, look out, we had support here, support and resistance within this range, and then we actually broke through it and then retested that support. So you could say we retested support and the trend line support both at the same time. So that could be a couple of bullish indicators combined together. Fingers crossed though. You never know, you could get a fucking death candle back down towards downside and test 37k, but hopefully that doesn't happen, mate. Yeah, my bags are full, to be honest, mate. I have got some stable coins on side in case the market does die off again, but I'm more in favour of a push to the upside. Spiking is doing well now, isn't it? If we look at it on the lower time frames. Actually, might be better off seeing it on here. This is the lower time frames, but as you can see, we're pushing. You can see our orders coming through. This is multi-exchange orders that are getting fired through. These on right hand side are perpetual trades, pushing up. Left hand side are perp trades too. Oh no, sorry, spot trades. Let's hope we can regain this momentum now. It's looking well. Right, so that's pretty much BTC covered. We'll monitor that throughout this stream and see what's going on there. So a few things I want to look at. The Fear and Greed Index, which is up at 65 or 74 yesterday. As you can see, we had a little bit of a slight pullback, haven't we? But really, what we want this is to be down here. We want this to be an extreme greed and just keep pushing price up. Yeah, that's ETH back at 3k. This definitely wasn't the top up here. Definitely not. I mean, that is not a top. How much did we retrace in terms of it's 15-minute chart, isn't it? That's why it's fucking not. There we go, that's more like it. So yeah, for me that definitely wasn't the top there. Let's just get rid of that. What did we do? 61% drop. But for me, I think this is still going to keep going. You've got a lot of people are talking about 10k, which is right up here. I think 10k should happen, to be honest. Maybe not this year, but at some stage it's going to happen. And in reality, how far are we away from that 10k level? 244%. That's nothing in crypto. That could happen over the course of a couple of months, so I think that's definitely going to happen. We just need to wait out on that. If you're looking for buys though, just monitor this move, because it's not had much pullback, has it? I mean, We do know that a lot of ETH is getting burned, so we might not get a pullback we're wanting, but just be prepared if you're looking to buy some. We could come down and test this level at 2621. That could be an area for you to look at and keep an eye on, just in case it does drop to the downside there. Did anyone else see USDT drop 65p on Coinbase last night? Never saw that. I never ever actually look at GBP prices on anything. I just do it all in dollars. Seems a bit easy to work out when there's not so many trading pairs in GBP. So yeah, if you're looking for buys on ETH, if we do get a bit of a pullback and it rejects off 3k again, which it has done pretty much, you could look at buys down here at 2621. Can't see it coming down to 2270 to be honest. That'll be back within that range. But you would expect to pull back at some stage. I mean, it might not pull back, but you've got some areas around here which could be tasty to look at too. Market's doing quite well this morning though. BTC is pretty much dragging. I'm still expecting BTC to regain some market dominance. If we look at this on the, we'll use that time frame. Okay, weekly actually, 3-day. So the BTC dominance always works in cycles. I've mentioned this before, but if you look at this massive box here, that was the alt season in 2017, and we did a massive drop all the way down to 34%. Then over the course of the last 3 years, we've risen all the way up to 73%, and then we started to drop down. We are starting to trend back up on the Bitcoin dominance. I think at some stage, maybe over the course of the next few months, I'm expecting BTC to go on a random run. It will pull all the coins up in the USDT prices, but I think the BTC prices in Satoshis might start to feel a burn, and I'm looking for Bitcoin dominance to either rise to 52 or 57% up here before we then kick back into alt season, because I think it does. I mean, Bitcoin dominance at 46%, I still think there's room for it to grow back up before we do start to see a another push, but let's just monitor it and see if it works out. I mean, BTC could stay here, F could keep pumping and bringing that down, so let's see what goes on there. MTV chart, what even is that? %, drop. Oh, mac on it. That's probably coming down to do that retest that we always talk about. Looking for buys, maybe look down at that region, but I've absolutely no idea even what this asset is. So look at buys around there. What will be the next Bitcoin, ADA or Cardano? What do you mean, what will be the next? That is a nice bounce there so far, isn't it, off BTC. If we drew that trend line on there earlier on, mate, look at that. It's pretty much hit it to a T, hasn't it? Very close. Done that retest and pushing up. Let's see if we can break above this region here at 46k, which is that next major area to look at getting up. High returns like 50x. You're not going to get that off Cardano or Bitcoin, mate. You're looking for 50x, you maybe have a look at some low caps. Don't start buying any of these shitty meme coins here because you'll get burnt. RSI's got a good chance to do a big move. That's currently down at 3.7 cent. I think this at some stage will be a multi-dollar coin at some stage once they pop a mainnet in tokenomics in force, because currently it's just CIC20 about 100 billion supply, but I think once it starts decreasing and deflating, I think that that will be a good asset to get into long term. So go and check reserve rights out. Still think it's, even though it's done a good bounce here, it's still at a decent level. Done quite a big substantial retracement from my eyes. Been up to 11-12 cent, and then we're rejected. Come back down to this. I bought some more down here, about 1.7 cent. Absolute solid area to buy that, and couldn't believe we got a look, because that was a nice area of support all the way down here. Didn't quite catch a bottom, but managed to get some down there. Morning Ross, how's it going, buddy? So a few more things I want to take a look at is the stock to flow. It's not the best indicator in the world, but it does show you what's kind of going on. And I'm starting to push back to the upside now. I'm expecting over the next 4 months maybe a big sharp rise up to here at about 100k, maybe a little bit higher, maybe about 120. And I think we'll see a nice blow off top on Bitcoin this year. So in all, that's actually working out okay so far. We dropped way under the trend, but that's done that bit in the past and the past there. So for me, decent level. It's a nice little bounce right now. Trend line perfection. We should have that from the beginning, shouldn't we, Aaron? I want Aaron. No, I want it with Jared. We should have that from right on beginning, because that looks, it's been a nice. Not massive fan of trend lines early, but sometimes they work out nice, don't they? What coins we looked at so far? Not much really, mate. We looked at Bitcoin. Looked at Ethereum. Some random one called MTV. That's it so far. So any assets you want me to take a look at, if I remember chat, and we'll have a butchers. So what I just want to take a quick look at is this. If you've been following my channel for a while, you know I'm a bag holder of Vivido. It's still one of my favourite projects. I think it died off. I mean, we hit that $1. I was monitoring a whale wallet that was selling, and it has eventually brought the price down. I think he had something like 5% of a supply at some stage. But he's nearly out. Price has bottomed out down about 8 cent, and it's pushing back up. Didn't actually buy anymore. I've got a decent bag, but so far we've rejected of this 25 cent region. If we do flip this back to support, this is going to start pushing on, because shows that there's some area of liquidity around there. Once we do break above that, I think it'll start to push on again. Where do you think it will hit in the next 12 hours? What Bitcoin do you mean? I'm looking at this region up here. 46,000. If you look all the way through, it's a nice area of support all the way through here. So hopefully we can hit that area. Who knows? The market is quite bullish now, so we just might blast right through it. What is your next technical target for VeChain? Let's have a look what's going on here. So it looks like we're in the weaker levels. I think that was it really, wasn't it? That's the first major area to get through. So that's up at around 14.5 cent. I think that's the first area we rejected off it. We use it as support here, support here, support there, rejection, rejection. So for me, that's the first major target for VeChain, to get up to around 14.5 cent. Obviously got some lower levels down here which you could look at. I mean, that could be a decent level. Rejection, rejection, and rejection all the way through. So maybe short term, 11.7 cent is that first target for us to break through. Polkadot back above $20, which is nice to see. We've got a rejection there. Let's get rid of all that crap. We've got a rejection there and a rejection here, so that shows that is the first major region for us to break through. That's at 2187 is that first major area for us to break through. But if you're looking for some buys, and if this ends up being a rollover, because as you can see, could be a rounded top this that's forming. So if you're looking for buys, and we do reject from here, because this BTC spike could just be a bit of a fake out. Look at buys maybe around that region at 1739. Could be a decent level to potentially place some orders. If we did get another shakeout, you could also look back down here, but I think those times are gone now. I think the market's pushing on. Caps ERSDL. I'll get ERSDL first. Not much data for this really, have we, on the Qcoin chart? Let's have a look on ERSDL had such a nasty sell-off, didn't it? And it got absolutely peppered with FUD. It is rolling over now though. Maybe around 21 cent or even 16 cent could be decent areas for you to buy. If we do bounce off here though, you got to look at this region here. Up at that negative 2.7 level, so that's the first major area at 32 cent to break through. If it does break through there, then fingers crossed we can start pushing on. But so far, not really much news on the RSDL recently. Then again, I've not been following it really. And turnover is very, very similar. There's not much data to analyse really. It did that massive listing crazy FOMO, and then it's had a sell off on it. Not even worth putting a trend line on that, to be honest. Same with this. Some at low caps are starting to roll over a little bit out of forming them tops. Currently lost at 382 level, so if you're looking for buys on caps, remember beginning of each month you usually begin sell-offs as well, so if you're looking for buys, maybe target 6.4 cent if you want some more buys in there. I agree, Ross. Jesus, Aussies are in lockdown. Is it getting bad over here? I'll have a look at bond in a second, old dog mate. Have I done ETH? Yes. I'm saying it depends how this current market pump. I mean, it could just be a bit of a fake out on BTC. We've come back down and retested that trend, and then we're pushing on. But depends really, don't you? We're back above 3k, which is good. That daily candle shows that there is big demand for ETH. Look at that, we wicked right down, and that just got bought straight back up. So there is demand there. Every time you look at all these wicks, long strangling wicks, it shows that it is getting dumped. But every time it's getting dumped, the asset is just getting bought back up. I mean, if you do get a major turnaround, then you could look at buys at 2600, but let's see. Could just continue going straight up, but remember, we'll get some relief at some stage. I've been trying to do as many streams as I can, mate, but it's hard with work, so I've been probably doing streams every 4 days. Or 4 days in a row and 4 days off. So it's my first day off work now for 4 days, so I'll be doing a stream for the next 4 days in the morning, usually between 8 and 10 o'clock UK time. What else were we going to look at? Bond. I've heard a few people talk about it before, actually. Never looked into it though. I'm always too busy fucking doing other shit. You're right there, mate. ETH is a beast. So Bond, is that the right one? Had a crazy spike yesterday, didn't it? That daily candle was a 47% pop, which is decent. There's not much data here, is there? Let's have a look at a different chart. Minimal on Qcoin. God, oh, maybe not. It's better, a bit more data there, haven't we? Where have we been in terms of all-time highs? $185, 85% down. Well, that's a bit of a nasty pullback, isn't it? Yeah, that's the all-time highs there. I'll mark it up. Shows that was it. That must have been the bottom there. Solid area of support down at 20 bucks. Same again. We didn't work right through it, but I won't worry about that. We soon shut up. Pushed back up, went up to 90 bucks, and we've done quite a big nasty retracement again. Not much of a trend there, to be honest. You can see we're going down, but there's not much of a trend line which you could potentially talk about. In terms of, let's just go into a weekly, see if there's any levels of resistance to break through. Quite a lot of support wicks there, and with some rejection wicks. So that's the first major area for us to break through on Barn Bridge. That's up at around 41 bucks. So that's the first major area. It is selling off a little bit here though. If you look from the entire move, probably buys at around $23 is where you're going to get. So if you're looking for a bit of a move to the upside, you're probably going to get some orders filled down here, but then it starts pushing back up. So that's that. I'll do the same, mate. Whenever you're getting pints, use Bluetooth card. It soon tops up all that 3% every now and then. It just adds up, mate. I think my reward's about $400 or $500 now. I like the look of XRP. I don't. $200 cases. God, I think we have about 30,000 a day. Everybody's vaccinated up now, aren't they? So I don't think we care so much. Need this to continue up. 46k, please. What else got mentioned in ETN? Oh, the Electronium. Can't look at that. I know loads of people got scammed from Electronium. We'll go USDT. See this level here, this green level, I just marked it last time and it's pretty much gone straight into that same level. Rejected out of it as well. So if you're looking for buys, this is a nice area of support here, which it's got up to a great daily candle a few days ago. It's popped straight back up, rejected off this area of liquidity. If it does pop above this now and flips this to support, then you're going to target this area here, which is around that level. I'm not sure what that level is, get rid of that. But we've broken through this so far, rejected off it obviously, we're coming back through now, so if it does break through here, $13 is the next target. Yeah, that's a problem for me. I think if you're massively affected by it, then I think people listen to it more, but I didn't really ever talk about COVID anyway, it's a fucking boring subject. This is the amount of Ethereum that's been burnt so far. 16,775 ETH have been burned up to now. That's crazy, isn't it? I'll give you this link if you ever want to monitor the amount of gas burned. Check that link there. It's a hell of a lot of Ethereum burnt. You think we'll keep going or retrace to 40k and under? See what happens at 46k. I think we'll get there today or tomorrow. This red line up here. Let's see what happens. Like, we're going to have some retracement at some point, aren't we? But I remember for like the last 2 months we've been heavily suppressed, haven't we, at under 30k. And then, well, it was under 35k, wasn't it? We got a lot of FUD deployed at 35k and we got kept under it for quite a while. And then it just dropped right through, didn't it? All the way to 28k. Suppress. We got all these new news articles that whales have been accumulating BTC and people seem to think it was going to drop further, when in reality, if they're telling you that Bitcoin is getting accumulated, it's obviously been suppressed. Once they stop accumulating, it's going to fly into them. That's what's happened so far. I think that there's still people calling for 10k and 5k, and we need to really get a grip with reality, don't we? Because this is starting to push on now and it's looking good. Bull run part 2 for me, I think it's going to start pushing on, and I think this all-time high will be made to look small at some stage in the future. Raven, I'll have a look at Raven and I'm going to sack it off. I've got a few things to do today, so we'll just have a quick look at Raven for Ethereum. This is the last time I did some analysis on that. Got about 1,000 levels down here. And yeah, it's been pushing up well, hasn't it? Let's get rid of all that TA away. That's the issue, isn't it? I think people always want that good retracement so you can top up. But what if it doesn't? I'm just exposed all the time, me, until I get to the point where I want to sell. Raven coin. Currently rejected off this area here. I mean, you could even box method it. If you box it, you can catch quite a few wicks. I mean, you could even catch that one there. Shows that was demand zone, bounce back up, rejected, and rejected again. If you're looking for buys on Raven, I mean, somebody says fibs are a bit boring, and why do you use fibs? I mean, look at that. That's just tapped that to a T at 8.7 cents. If you're looking for buys, that could be a decent area there to pop some at 0.087. If you do get a bit of a market shakeout, you probably could look down here at 7.2 cent as well. But yeah. Alan, podcast soon. We've got news on that coming today or tomorrow. So yeah, we've got a podcast rebrand landing over the next couple of days. So yeah, keep your eyes peeled on that. I agree, Ross. Are you still using Binance since UK news? Yes, nothing wrong with Binance other than you can't withdraw or deposit GBP, but I just use Swissborg for that. So if you ever want to deposit or withdraw GBP into crypto, use Swissborg. The link's in the description of this video and the pinned comment, and it's class. I withdrew £5,000 from Swissborg to my bank account. It landed in less than 5 seconds and it cost me a fiver. The trading on there is quite expensive. It's like 1%, but if you're only using it for withdrawing and purchasing Bitcoin or any crypto with fiat, then go and check it out. But yeah, that's going to do it for stream today. Just a quick one, jump on. I'm going to be doing a stream for the next 4 days in mornings, and then obviously price analysis videos in the evening, afternoon. So thanks everybody who's tuned in. I'll catch you later on.